Give me some sugar. Okay.
That's delicious.
I thought it would be cute because you know we're girls. And it's like, give me some sugar.
Give me some sugar. Product in North Carolina.
Give us some sugar.
Of the monetary variety.
Yeah.
Guys, what's up, Lexus?
Hey.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Wow, we're in Spanish.
I wish I knew some.
Did you say estases?
I did. That's not the actual term at all.
Trying to speak Spanish and it didn't go well. People come to Chipotle and they say queso.
Let me get some of that queso.
And quesadilla.
I like the people who call it chipotle. My mama calls it chipotle.
And chipotle?
Yeah, let me get some of that chipotle. Well, we are back with another review. This time
we haven't said the name of our show yet.
Oh, dang. Back up.
It's another episode of Black Girl Lit.
Where we get lit while we read lit situation.
Yeah. And we're actually
getting lit. Because we haven't. In the last 2 episodes, we haven't been getting lit. So we've been failing you guys.
But even the last episode was lit though.
The last episode was lit without us getting lit.
Yes, it was really
lit
good.
On life, as I say.
Alright, so we read Love, Hate, and Other Filters, as we told y'all last time, by Samira Ahmed. This is my pick. I picked this book. It is young adult. If y'all don't know what YA stands for, you know, Black Lit Vocabulary, Black Girl Lit Vocabulary, YA stands for young adult. So it's a book marketed towards young adults, and the characters are typically young adults, but adults can read them.
Yes.
We're gonna get into our first segment of this episode about the author. Her name is Samira Ahmed. She was born in India, in Bombay. She was raised in or outside of Chicago. She spent a lot of time inside the library.
She was a graduate of the University of Chicago.
Yes, where she got her BA and MAT. She taught high school English in the Chicago suburbs as well as in New York City public schools. She is a best-selling New York Times author for this book, Love, Hate, and Other Filters. And she has a book coming out called Internment. It actually came out this year in March. And then she has a book coming out April of next year called Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. Okay. So she lives in Chicago right now. If she's not found reading or writing, she can be found looking for the perfect pastry.
Okay.
And I read like the little synopsis of her book Internment. I want to read it.
Okay.
Oh my God. And just reading the reviews, I'm gonna read it. I don't know if we're gonna read it, because you know I'm trying to branch out, but I'm gonna read that book.
It might be a break book for her.
But that's all about Samira. And now we are getting into the segment where Jasmine thrives, she flourishes, and you all know what that is. It is the book synopsis.
Okay, so Love, Hate, and Other Filters is a story about Maya Aziz. I was calling her Ms. My bad. Maya Aziz. She is 17-year-old senior who lives in a small town in Illinois. Her big passion is filming and photography, and she wants to become a movie director. She always is walking around with her camera, filming different things. And the story is talking about basically her growing up in a traditional Indian Muslim family, how her parents have certain ideas for her life and what they think her life should be. They think she should either become a doctor or a lawyer. Those are basically her only choices, and that she needs to go to the University of Chicago.
And get married.
Maya has other dreams for herself. Yes, she wants to get married, but maybe not in the same way that her parents want her to. And she also wants to go to NYU, and she wants to study film. So she's kind of different. So the book is about her trying to deal with not only her family's expectations of herself, but also what she wants to do for herself. And then also, betwixt all that, a terrorist attack happens. Ooh, and the effects of that attack shake her family to its core, and she's trying to deal with that, as well as deal with typical teenage angst, relationships, and just trying to get through life as a first generation Indian Muslim American, or as she called herself, American born confused Desi. So
what does Desi mean? Like, I know it's a term that they use.
I think they said it's a term that just relates to anybody that's in like Southern Asia.
Oh, okay.
So that's just a term of how you would describe yourself, someone who's from that area.
Got you.
So yeah, so that is the synopsis.
Jazz is getting good at this.
I am. Look at me.
I mean, she was good at first, but it's like
now I'm getting concise and clear without giving y'all too much tea.
Right. No spilling the tea.
Right.
All right, now we're gonna get into our next segment, which is reactions, and we'll start with Jazmine this time because I went first last time.
All right, my reaction. So my first thing that I wrote, I have 2.5.
I got 6.
Well, it's got a lot of reactions. All right, so this is probably my problem. Usually I write my reactions as I'm reading, but this time I did them after the fact, so I need to go back to writing my reactions as I'm going through the book. So my first reaction was that and this is terrible, I wrote that Maya was a little spoiled and bratty, reminded me of Margot. But not in a sense like completely like Margot, but it reminded me of Margot because there were a lot of situations and instances, like kind of like how in Margot, her parents weren't really completely about the culture, and Margot was like, we need to be about the culture a little bit. Where on the flip side, Maya's parents were like, all about the culture, and Maya's like, I don't care about your culture. Right. And so that kind of reminded me a little bit of Margot. And then also there were some instances and situations where she just seemed like she didn't, like the way she was acting about Phil when all that drama was happening, I was like, girl, there is bigger things and fish to fry than motherfucking Phil.
I got a note about that.
Like, girl, then I think that goes into my next note, which my next thing was, I feel like the book could have done a lot more. Like, if you're gonna throw a terrorist attack in the middle of your book, you should do a lot more with that. You could have a lot of things that could stem from that. In terms of like reactions, how people dealt with it. Like I will say the book did good with dealing with the terrorist attack because there were some events that stemmed from the terrorist attack that were really pivotal moments in the book. But I felt like it could have taken a really different turn and the book could have ended way differently. But I just felt like Maya was so concerned with trying to go to NYU and Phil that she didn't care about all the other things that were happening. And I was like, girl, let's priorities, girl, priorities.
It's also 17.
That's true, but at the same time, that's probably me thinking with my 30-year-old brain, expecting the 17-year-old character to do something that like I would do. Granted, knowing that I probably would have done the same thing had I been 17. So those were my two main reactions. I will say though, I think that the book was very well written. I think there were some good things, very descriptive, and I like that it talked about something that, this is the first time I ever read a book about an Indian Muslim character or anything like that. So it was good to kind of have that sight into, right, so that we finished. The sight into that lifestyle, that culture with those characters, and I think it being realistic and in present day where a Star Touch Queen was all, I don't know where that was, made it a lot easier for me to relate to and understand. What were your reactions? All 6 of them.
First of all, I was shocked when you compared Maya to Margot because y'all know every time Jazz brings up Margot, it's something bad.
It is.
That's why I was like, okay.
But I think it makes sense. My reasoning why
I see what you're saying. I took my notes as I was reading this time. First thing I wrote was there's like little snippets before each chapter that are italicized, and I was like, ooh, these could be about the terrorist attack. But honestly, at first when I was reading those snippets, it read like a neo-Nazi. And I was like, this is not about to be about like an Indian or Muslim person. I wrote that I can appreciate Maya bucking against some of her cultural traditions because like you said, she is the first generation American in her family. And then I wanted her to be a good Indian girl and get with Kareem, but I also wanted her to get with Phil at the same time. But then afterwards I was like, oh, bump Phil, just get with Kareem. Like Kareem was everything.
Kareem was like, when Kareem took her on that date, and I was like,
and then they were walking, I could just see the little petals falling on her,
and it was like a cute little date, and he played into her wanting to do film.
He's like non-traditional, a non-traditional Desi boy, as they said.
I was like, get with Kareem. Next note,
I love that Samira, she used screen grabs for like the text messages and stuff. I thought it was really cute. I like that. And then I wrote that I could relate to this book because Maya is all about capturing the moment, and I love taking pictures and I love documenting things on video. Hence why I have a YouTube channel. You know, I love all things like editing and video and recording, and I think even in the book they mentioned Ken Burns, and you won't know this unless you edit videos, but there's a way to zoom in on shots called Ken Burns. So it's either you can like start wide and zoom in close, or start close and zoom out. And so that's a Ken Burns style. He's an actual person, and that's the style that he used. So it was like very like, you know, nerdy.
That's kind of like her Dumbledore pensive.
And then the last thing I wrote is there was a phrase that they say to each other. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but I think it's Kudafis, Khudafis, and it means may God be your guardian. And they say that to like greet each other, and also I think to say goodbye. And I just like that. I don't know.
The culture. So I was torn between her wanting to like buck against her family's culture. At the same time, I was like, you have to understand the importance. And I was I was telling you one day, like, we're the generation where we understand and we see tradition, but at the same time we're like, but why do we have to do it this way? We question the tradition of things. So I think she's kind of caught in, no, she's more so just questioning it. I don't think she really sees the importance of tradition. She's just kind of questioning.
Yeah, she just like,
I know what it is.
Unfortunately. All right, now on to our next segment. We're going to discuss major scenes and topics.
You go first.
All right, so some major topics are Islamophobia, cultural divides among family, peers, and parents. Oh, I was like, what did I write? So I know what I wrote now. I wrote cancer and I meant camera.
Oh, okay.
But their cultural divide, because like we mentioned before, between Maya and her parents, even between Maya's mother and Maya's aunt, there's some cultural divides there. And also, she's like the only brown girl at her school. And I don't even think they even mention like black people or
she said she's the only brown
she's like the only person of color. And then also like did I say Margot or Maya? I hope I'm saying Maya.
Maya, you're saying Maya.
Maya hides behind her cameras, like her security blanket, her shield. Also, a major scene is when her parents' doctor's office gets attacked, or what's it called, vandalized, and then Maya gets attacked as well. I thought those were very pivotal scenes. Also, some scenes that come to mind is whenever Maya went to the little secret cabin in the woods with Phil when he was teaching her how to swim.
My major scenes were I had the terrorist attack, and I put the resulting events, which Kia hit on, were the Aziz's office getting vandalized, and then Maya getting attacked while they were on a school trip by some crazy dude. And then also I had the scene where Maya was talking to her parents about NYU and like trying to get them the initial when she first dropped the bomb on them and trying to get their approval. And then that's really the big major scenes that I had. I felt like, I will say though, the scene where Phil first takes her to the cabin was good, and then also the scene for prom night when they that one was a nice cute scene. But
they call it a meet cute. Well, she got the black girl hands.
The scene where Maya gets attacked,
I was shocked,
but then I was like, how nobody else see this happening? How come Phil is the only person that sees this happening? If
it would have been a video or like a movie, it really like, that scene actually kind of hurt my heart. It was like, oh, that was another thing I was gonna bring up. Like when they announced the terrorist attack or whatever, was she watching it? I think she heard it on the news, and she was hoping like, I hope he's not Muslim. I hope he's not Muslim. And I was like, that's how I feel.
When the shooting just happened at UNC Charlotte, and you know, I thoughts and prayers to the people who lost their lives and anyone who was affected by it. But when I heard it and I saw that the dude's name was Tristan, I was like, oh, that's gonna be a black dude. And I was like, please don't let it be a black dude, please, because her name like Tristan. I'm like,
right.
But it was a white dude.
But that's just the struggle of being a person of color in America. From any other culture, race, nationality, you always are, especially when something big happens. Like this book, 9/11 had already happened prior to this book. So she's already, anytime there's anything called a terrorist attack, I'm sure a Muslim person is always thinking, please don't let them be Muslim, please don't let them be Indian, please don't let them be Afghani, whatever. Like, and like with black people, when you know there's a shooting or you know there's a robbery, we're hoping, please don't let this person be black. Please don't let. It's just what it is, because we already have these negative stigmas against us. We already have to do things twice as good as other people. We have to work twice as hard to get what the dominant race, which is white people, get what they get. So whenever something negative happens, it's like it sets us back. Like we get 2 steps forward, and then something negative happens, and we get 10 steps back.
And so for some reason,
I get that.
That's true. And what's crazy is whenever situations like this happen, and it's a person of color who's the perpetrator.
She's drinking too much. The perpetrator.
I was gonna try to say culprits, and then I said
it's gonna be a little bit long.
Perpetrator. So I put them together. But anywho, when the person, the suspect or whatever, is a person of color, it always seems like that one person represents that entire race, religion, or anything. But when a white dude goes shoot up something, oh no, he was a lone wolf.
He has psychological issues.
He was suppressed as a kid. And they did it in this dang on book too. When the little stories about the news things, oh, we knew him as a little kid and he seemed so quiet and sweet. But if a black guy do it, oh no.
Right. Think about that Dylan Roof. They put up like a senior picture of him or like a nice picture of him. But when a black person does something, they put up that one picture where he got his middle fingers up or he pointing guns at the screen.
Right. And the black man could be the victim. The black man could be dead and they still gonna use the mugshot. Right. Whereas the white dude or dominant race person could be the suspect that just shot up 30 million people and they gonna get a really nice photo of them. Like, no, that's
he
not
has his whole future ahead of him. All right, now time for your favorite
We're gonna rate it and rate it and rate it and rate it. Rate that book. The song changes every time.
Well, you never know what you're gonna get.
Because I make that up on the fly.
Yes, at least you're not choking this up.
I know. I swallow better.
Wow! That escalated really quickly. So, Jazz, what is your rating for this book?
So, Nikia's probably not gonna agree with me, but I gave it. Oh, do you want to go? Nah, it's okay.
I went first last time.
No, I was gonna go over the scale, but they should know the scale by now. If you're a true lit set fan,
you can do it quickly.
You know what our scale is, and that scale is buzz. For
no,
it's not. Dang! Oh my god! Lord, take me now.
Let me do this. I got this.
Gosh.
So first we have sober. Y'all know how it is to be sober. You ain't got no drinks in your system. Then you get buzz. You had a little bit of something. Then you have tipsy, where you're like, okay, I'm feeling good, feeling great. And then you have lit, which I'm about to be.
Nikia got the whole scale right, and I got it wrong. What is this day coming to?
Hey y'all, this stuff gets you lit.
It's
Jazz can tell you. I think I was like tipsy lit on Sunday. I was like tipsy text. I was tipsy texting her.
Yeah,
and then she didn't respond back to me. I was like, Jazz, you're my only friend.
I having like a mental breakdown.
And then she responded back when I was sober, and I was like, girl, I'm like a little embarrassed. Okay, anywho. So Jazz is going to give us her rating of the book.
My rating of the book, I gave it a tipsy. And the reason why I gave it tipsy, I know she was gonna get mad. And what was the reason? What was the reason clip is going to be inserted here. So,
what was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason?
And the reason why.
I'm glad you know, sis. I'm glad you know.
Then the reason why is because I just did not like how she used I'm happy that she input the terrorist attack event in the situation, but I didn't like how it stemmed from it. I felt like all of these major events happened.
You write a book about a terrorist then, sis. You write a book about a terrorist then.
Mate, okay, I can write the story about how 9/11 affected me and my life as a black American. Okay.
And my birthday's on 9/11.
It is. But I'm just saying, I just felt like the book, I felt like Maya went through all of these pretty life-changing events, from the terrorist attacks where you're thinking the person's last name is your last name and everybody's thinking that, it could be someone associated with you. You have all these Islamophobic people that you're coming in contact with, that you're dealing with, and then you have your parents at the doctor's office get attacked, and you get attacked, and she just brushed that stuff off. She was like, all right, well, I'm about to go to NYU and I love Phil and Phil loves me and we're gonna go make out in the cottage. And that was like, girl.
The book did not happen like that.
It kind of does. And I was like, girl, you could have still had that little cutesy little ending, and I just felt like she could have done a lot more and dealing a lot more
Jazz just got her
with
nails
this terrorist attack. First of all, I just felt like they just could have done a lot more with that situation, and I just felt like she could have expanded upon it, because this is a really poignant book. I think that it's a great book, and I think that if you have never really had any interactions with any kind of Indian Americans, or if you just want to have a slight glimpse into their culture and what children have to deal with, their first generation, it's a good book. And I think she could have done so much more and could have used it for so much more. With you bringing in such heavy hitting topics, I think that she could have really brought it home had she, maybe, not saying that Maya needs to become an activist, house of the people type thing, I'm not saying that's what needs to happen, but I just feel like just seeing how it really could have affected Maya a little bit more, how Maya was going to use these events in her life to kind of propel her forward, even within her film career or whatever the case may be. I think that would have been really good to see. Had that happened, I would have given the book a lit, but since that was not there, that's why I gave it a tipsy. So for me, it may be more of a tipsy lit than
don't back up now, sis.
I'm just saying,
commit to it. Commit to your tipsy.
I'm committing to my tipsy, so it was a tipsy to me.
Thank you.
And I'm just saying.
So clearly y'all know what my rating is. It's lit. So this book is lit because, first of all, I was just like eating it up. Like, I'm just sitting there reading the book like
Kindle on the backlight. Yeah, continue.
So I'm just like gobbling this book up because, first of all, it's well written. I have like a major connection to it because the main character is all about filming and, you know, capturing the moment. And I appreciate like learning about different cultures. Like, I like the fact that I'm getting to see a glimpse into the Indian, Muslim, Desi culture, as they call it, into the book. Like, I like learning about different cultures, so this really spoke to me in that aspect. I think she did a great job, you know, with the terrorist attacks. I do see where Jazz said where she could have done more with it as it pertains to Maya, but it was really, it's not a typical YA book. Like, there were so many major things that happened, like with her parents getting attacked, her getting attacked, her interactions with Phil, and then Kareem, and then even with her aunt, who was like kind of like her lifeline. And it just, the way it ended wasn't perfect either, and I appreciated that because I don't like books to be wrapped up, tied up in a bow, and like everything is perfect. I mean, like in the end, she does kind of get what she wants, but it's not, everything's not perfect, and I really appreciate that. And it was just so well written, and it wasn't typical like, oh my god, I'm a teenager and I hate life and I just hate my parents. But like, she understood her, it's like she understood her culture, she knew her culture, but she knew what parts of it worked for her. Like, she had to take from it what she could fit in her American Indian life. So this book is lit for me. I'm definitely gonna read her internment book. I think I might put it on her list.
That's cool. And I will read the book should it be put on the list. Wow. I'm just saying, I just felt that there were some parts that were lacking for me personally. Not saying. Now, if you guys read the book and you feel like Nikea or you feel like me, let us know. Engage with us. Yes. You may feel like Nikea or you may feel like me. I'm just saying, you are your own person and you're able to make those decisions. Well, thank you a lot, President Trump. See? Yeah. Yeah. How does it feel? How does it feel?
I almost cussed. Anywho.
Well. So
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I give myself a tipsy lit right now.
Definitely more on the lit tipsy.
My eyes are a little bit. A little bit cross.
Her little meter is leaning.
Yeah, I'm going down.
So like, if it was like a little thing and the little needle was tinkering between the tipsy and the lit, it's definitely more on the lit side.
Oh, this one is so good. Anywho, that's all for love, hate, and other filters. So make sure you drop some comments down below. You know, give us some feedback, engage with us, talk with us, let us know what you think. Drop it here on YouTube or on our Instagram. But before we wrap this video up, y'all, our next book. So I just want to say something. Okay, zoom in. This is gonna be a zoom in shot. This is
a Ken Burns.
No, this is gonna stay right here.
Oh, I thought it.
You're not gonna be in this shot.
I thought it was.
You're not here, so stop talking.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I've been a bad black girl lit partner, okay? Because
at least somebody can admit it.
When we finish reading the books, I go to the next one, and Jazz is not there, and I leave her behind.
She leaves me.
Even EJ said something to me. He's like, "Isn't the point of this for y'all to read them together?"
Right.
And I was like, "But I just
crab in a barrel, man.
I didn't have nothing to say." And this next book, I already finished. Okay.
Yeah.
Jazz has started it.
Yeah.
She's gonna be done soon, but I already finished. And and I feel bad. So I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna get some books to read in between. Like if I finish first, I'm gonna get another book in between so that me and Jazz can just be on the same page, okay? And I don't want to have to force her to just like read.
Yeah,
you know,
because I had to read Another Filters in 2 days.
And you know, Jazz got like a whole full-time job. She the boss. She a boss bitch.
They be making me work, man. You know, it's crazy when you go to work and they make you work. I'm like, let's take one power through, but I'm gonna read it.
It is called This Side of Home by Renee Watson. So this author is an African-American female author. I think all of our authors have been female so far.
Yes.
And of color.
Yeah, we need to get some Eric Jerome Dickey in there so we can get some men in there. Take it back to those days.
I'm celibate until I get married. I don't need to read no sexy time.
Oh, they probably do.
But this is our next book. It is a YA lit book, and Jazz picked it.
I did pick it. I didn't know it was YA. In my defense, when I picked it, I was not aware that it was YA. I just needed to get her a list of 5 books, and I liked. It seems like it could possibly be a good book. So I guess I slightly somehow got inceptioned and voodoo hoodooed into thinking that YA books were
our
the
lit
books. So,
but that's it for today's review, y'all. So like we said before, drop some comments down below, engage with us, talk with us, let us know what you think of the book once you read it. We didn't give too much away, so
you still have for you guys to read. I most definitely, I do think everyone should read the book. I think it's a very good book. It's a very poignant book,
and I'm excited to read books like by women of color from other cultures.
Yes. So
and I think you have a book in our next set that is about like the Punjabi.
I do, yes. The erotic stories of Punjabi wives.
That is it for today. We will have our stuff on the screen. I'm tipsy.
I'm tipsy.
But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. This is where Black Girl Lit lives. You know, go ahead and watch the playlist. I'll put some videos at the end for y'all to enjoy. That's it for today, and as always, stay Black Girl Lit. Bye.